All right, I want to switch gears again. So Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin responding to criticism about, quote, woke recruiting, saying that the military is not soft. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
Is not too soft. It will never be too soft. I think our adversaries would like to capitalize on talking points like that, or the Chinese, the Russians, and I welcome them to do that, because what this department, what Lloyd Austin is focused on, is the defense of our nation.
So, as you just heard, kind of deflecting criticism that we've heard from Republican lawmakers about the U.S. military. Robert, your thoughts? Is our military's latest efforts to be inclusive perhaps weakening America's security, in your opinion?
This is three levels of stupid criticism. One, you have people who have no idea what the word woke means. Woke is a term that comes from the 1920s, from the Black nationalist movement, which was talking about a Black awakening, understanding who you really are, where you really came from, what your name is, what your genetic heritage is. And it's not about white liberals running around college campuses painting on sidewalks or something. And then you have conservatives who have taken the word woke and then perverted it from what they heard someone else say on TV to create a new controversy. So the whole thing is dumb to start with. Secondarily, this idea of the military being soft is completely ridiculous. One, you can go back to the founding fathers. Von Steuben, one of the generals who helped win the Revolutionary War, was gay. If you want to go to the Civil War, you have Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy, who ran away dressed in women's clothing to stop from being captured by the Union Army. We've had the inclusive military since the desegregation efforts of General Eisenhower during the Korean War. So when you say that we're making the American military soft by adapting to the times, you're being it's a ridiculous conversation. We're not going to be in the trenches anymore. You're talking about people who are going to be flying drones, operating on aircraft, doing military tactical plans. So this idea they're adapting to the new generation and making sure they can still recruit and have a proper fighting force. The criticism is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think in some ways that the inclusion process that they're trying to implement to the military right now does weaken the military. It takes the eye off of mission readiness, battle readiness, to worrying about what the social culture of the day is. And I think it sets a bad precedence for our U.S. military. It sets a bad precedence for our troops. I know whenever I served and they repealed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, suicide rates went up, and then they start the whole transgender thing, suicide rates doubled and tripled. And I think this is it's something to look at. It's a cause for concern, because we shouldn't be worried about who people love, who they marry, who they date, what gender they want to be. I think the whole focus should be on military readiness, mission readiness, and protecting the United States from foreign aggressors.
So I want to make sure I understand you correctly. Are you saying the suicide rates went up because of these policies?
Yeah, well, what happens is once you remove the policies where people weren't talking about it, now you have transgenders, and you got to understand, a lot of people are against transgenders. You have a lot of people that are against the LGBT community, and once people don't feel accepted anymore, then the suicide rates goes up.